How's it going, everybody? It's Jace, and today we're going to be talking about the Nike incident that is going around right now. There have been some latest news from the CEO, John Donahoe. He made a statement in regards to Anne Hebert and her son allegedly backdooring sneakers and really hooking up her son to help her with the business. And then there is going to be a second part that I recorded previously that I wanted to keep together so that everyone would get the whole story, and that is going to be the original incident, which will follow after this latest update. And if you haven't already done so, please destroy that like button for me. It does help me out a lot. And please subscribe if you like this content. I do drop new videos every Thursday. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So first up, the latest updates. So as I said in the intro, John Donahoe, the CEO of Nike, has made an official statement regarding last week's event. And he basically claimed that they have been investigating this issue and they already knew about Anne Hebert and her son's reselling business as early as 2 years ago, when she did allegedly disclose that she was already helping her son with this to her operational manager. However, even with that said, the CEO did mention that they have been working on anti-botting measures for the last couple years and that they are looking to change the way that these limited sneakers are going to drop. So I'm really interested to see what they do with this. Let me know down below, what kind of system do you think that they're going to be using to take care of these new limited drops? And the final thing about this in summary is that they essentially decided not to take any legal action against Anne Hebert because in their investigation they basically found that she did not violate any rules. So what do you think about John Donahoe's statement? I do plan to make a whole nother video discussing the condition of the sneaker game right now, but I want to hear your thoughts before I make that video so that I get a better understanding from my viewers, like what you guys are thinking. And another thing I want to point out to you guys is that I believe in the EU or the UK, they are already actually pushing forward new legislation to try to make botting actually illegal. But yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think if the government makes it illegal to bot, do you think people are going to actually follow it? Or you think people are going to actually stop botting if they could get prosecuted for it with criminal charges? Yeah, let me know all of that stuff in the comments below. And now we're going to segue into the original incident. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Jace, and I want to talk about why you potentially haven't been getting any W's on the SNKRS app. Now, before I get really into the details, I just want to point out a legal disclaimer that this is purely speculation. I will be pointing out a lot of things from the article, but everything else that I say is purely my opinion and the opinions of what other sneakerheads believe from social media. So if you don't already know what I'm referring to by now, I am of course talking about Joe Hebert, also known as WestCoast Streetwear. Now he's your typical botter reseller, but anyways, what sparked all of this was that last week Bloomberg Business interviewed him and wrote an article about how he basically turned sneakers into an asset class, or at least how he was one of the few people that did that. And the interesting thing was that at some point during his interviewing process, Joe actually showed the reporter a statement of him buying sneakers, and the reporter saw a name on it that said Anne Hebert, and he started doing some digging and he found out that not only was this person Joe's mom, she was also a VP/GM for Nike of North America branch for sales, marketing, and merchandising. So this most likely also takes into account the SNKRS app as well. Now, if you don't really know how marketing and merchandising works, just in general, basically brick and mortar stores, which is what Nike started out as, a lot of these kind of companies that started out as a brick and mortar store have moved. Good amount of their sales are usually going to be online now. On average, I would say from what I know, it's usually a split of 40% mortar and 60% online. And for Nike, that means that most of these online sales are coming from their website, the Nike app, or the SNKRS app. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna lay down in terms of the history of what's going on, and that should catch you up for the most part. But if you do want to know more details, I will link the article in the description below. So you're probably asking yourself at this point, Jace, why do I even care? It's just sneaker BS. Like, I don't really care. Well, this is why you should care if you are into sneakers and you're tired of taking L's. So if everything in this article is true, which is possible, I'm not saying that what I'm about to say is true, but it is definitely possible that his mom was literally backdooring pairs of sneakers to her son Joe, who started this resale business. Because if you have ever been on the SNKRS app, you know the hardest part is actually getting a W. At the end, the reporter actually asked Joe straight up about him and his mom's relationship, and he said that she's like too high up to really be involved in his business. Shortly after that, he cut off all communication with the reporter. We are definitely free to kind of interpret that as we want. But like I said, this is all just speculation, and it is in no way actually true. Fred, anywhere from 3 to 6 pairs apparently he found of these dead stock Nike Air Max. I mean, that's kind of very telling about that he's probably getting a plug. Like, even if you're friends with like a reseller, there's no way they're gonna just hook you up with $150,000 worth of shoes. Getting back to the example, he also posted himself posing with hundreds of pairs of Court Purple. He also had tons of off-white Nikes that he was posing with and many other sneakers, but as I said, many people are speculating that he was just getting backdoor pairs of sneakers left and right, because mainly the way that people were entering for these sneakers were through the SNKRS app. And you know, granted, he is a botter, so there were other places that were raffling these off, but the chances of you winning that many pairs is not likely on a raffle, even if you are doing a raffle bot and doing tons of entries. So in the grand scheme of things, let's say the Court Purples had, let's just take a guess, maybe they had a couple 100,000 pairs, right? And let's say that this guy only had 500 to 1,000 pairs, and you're saying to me, Jace, that's not that many pairs, so like, who cares? Like, it doesn't really affect me. But I do want to point out that it does matter, because even though that doesn't sound like a lot, and that's probably a minute portion of 1% of the stock, to give a more real world example, if you've ever done an in-store physical raffle, one of the ways that they do it is they'll hand out tickets or wristbands, and within the next few hours, they will call your number or your name, and that's how you would win. So just picture this. You've been waiting for 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe even 10 hours already. For some reason, they tell everyone that there's only 5 pairs left. So, you know, a lot of people in the back start kind of getting down on themselves, like, oh man, you know, fudge this, I'm out of here. Like, I can't believe I waited 10 hours for nothing. And then in the corner of your eye, and you're the only guy that notices in the back entrance of this store that there's a dude walking out with a bag seemingly filled with like 10 pairs of these sneakers. You know, that's literally what backdooring is. And instead of playing the game, they're pretty much taking away these chances from the people that are really trying to win. Those 10 pairs that they hooked that dude up with, all of a sudden, there's 9 people that should have gotten a sneaker as well. So yes, this does affect you as minute of a detail as it sounds. They are taking away chances from other people from winning. So now, again, just for legal reasons, before I get into my thoughts, I just want to point out that all of this is speculation. People have been saying for years that SNKRS is rigged. If you look at anecdotal evidence, there have been people saying that they have never won a SNKRS draw or a raffle for 2, 3, 4 years. And there have been plenty of people trying to figure out how to best optimize the system in order to maximize your chances. And I myself am one of those people that made that video that I will show in the card above if you still want to check that out. But then there's gonna be people like Joe and his mom Anne that basically just completely manipulate the system. Joe's mother Anne is the plug. She is an actual insider plug at Nike. They don't need to play this game. They don't need to maximize their chances. And that is the biggest problem here. That is the key takeaway. It's not about the fact that he's reselling these sneakers. That's gonna happen regardless. Now that he's gone under fire for it and his mother has stepped down as a 25-year employee, you know, and this is gonna just further create more distrust with a raffling type system. And it really just shows that the whole sneaker game is kind of just in disarray right now. You know, a lot of people don't trust these systems. They've been hiding under emails and raffle systems for ages. You know, and this is another way for a company to not have to disclose how much stock they actually have left. We most recently saw this with Trophy Room, and you know, you saw that debacle with the release. And it's still baffling to this day that Nike has not done anything about it. because if you read their policies every time you buy a sneaker, you're agreeing that you will not resell the sneaker for profit. For you to be doing it on the business side, if you're like a Nike partner or a Nike affiliate, that's just insanity that Nike isn't protecting themselves legally from scandal, really. And then we also saw in February that there was this guy named Aaron Andam, which was a high-level designer at Nike. He's been there for 17 years, and he was basically accused for defrauding Nike for over $1 million by basically doing chargebacks with his contractors for all of these exotic and fancy booths and setups that he had for famous athletes. But anyways, I just think Nike needs to really crack down on all the shady stuff that's going on at the company, and they really just need to get their stuff together. But anyways, I'm gonna digress. I'm curious what you all think. I wanted to really make this as a discussion video, as I said at the beginning. So what do you all think about this situation, and how much do you think this really affects your chances? And thanks for watching. As usual, please do like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification so you get the latest videos from me. I do my best to keep you all looped every Thursday about the latest news about what's going on in the sneaker world. So please keep it laced here with your boy Jace, and support your local businesses. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.